All right, boys, we live. We back on it, back in it. All right, professional now. All right, so this will be recording number 2 for the night. This will be lecture over endocrine system anatomy. Before I dig into that, though, I want to kind of go ahead and address the discussion question. Now, everybody's going to have their own opinion, and that's fine. I want everybody's melting pot of opinion. There's no wrong answer, but I want you to be able to defend your answer. So let's talk about it. So let me pull up my little question here. Should EMS consider wearing body cams? Why or why not? I'm going to give you my answer, and it don't mean I'm right. It's just my opinion. So I found an article that details the paramedics in Robeson County, North Carolina, trying the implementation of their body cams in their daily operations. Now, these things are not cheap. However, the benefits that they provide also answer a lot of questions about personally bringing body cams into normalcy of EMS profession. I asked my paramedic class at Atlanta Fire about the body cams, and they didn't feel comfortable. Big Brother's watching every move I make. I'm grateful that the article I found on EMS1 was able to provide some clarity and perspective. Perspective can do a lot for you. A thought experiment can do a lot for you. Putting yourself in somebody else's shoes, you know what? I'd be pissed off too. Okay. So I learned how to do a thought experiment over the last couple of years, and it's helped me tremendously with understanding folk that ain't like me. So the paramedics of Robeson County have had an issue with violent patients, and they have injured a number of their paramedics. So they have implemented an experimental body cams trial to address this issue, providing accountability and ability to assist in prosecuting these son of a guns. All right. That way is, you can't say you hit me and it ain't true. I didn't. It's true. Watch you on camera. Now, what have I to hide as a paramedic? Not a lot, but there are sometimes things that we do for patients that may be against policy. I'll give you one. A company I worked for in the metro Atlanta area, well, I'm not going to say any names, but we have about, people freeze to death during the winter months here in Atlanta. It get cold. Okay. So their policy was you didn't ride nowhere unless you had you didn't ride anywhere unless you were taking them somewhere to transport them and actually charge them for it. However, there's a women's center right over here, and I'm posted here waiting on another call. Can I not take them the 1 mile and stop them from freezing to death? I did, and I support that, but that would make it, now if I'm body cam doing it, now I might could get in trouble. So other than things like that, I would say that they could be tremendously beneficial. I have nothing to hide. Also, if you're a crap bag medic, I'd like to see it. And I'd like to not have you deal with my patients. I have seen too many people out there that are just too burned out, that are taking too many liberties with patients that I don't like. I want somebody to hold you accountable. And I like that. I personally like that. I like the idea of holding crews accountable because not all of us in EMS have the same ethics. And there are unethical paramedics roaming the streets. And this could be a way to hold us to a standard of performance evaluation as well. If your training officer, can log in and see how terrible you are at your job, I'll know that you need remediation. It's not a punitive thing. It is a way to do what? To see if you know what the hell you're doing. We deserve, our patients deserve to have the best from us. And again, it's not punitive. If I have a bug hanging, let me know. If I could improve my patient care, let me know. If there's something I'm doing that is contrary to evidence-based medicine practices, I want to know. I want to be better. We always look at criticism as a way of what? It's coming down on me, you meanie, but no, it is an opportunity for improvement. I thank you for telling me how I can do better. When we get towards the end here, I'm going to ask you what I did right, what I did wrong, what I can do better. Because I'm not afraid of your criticism. I'm your EMS instructor. And I know Mr. Larry is not afraid of your constructive criticism either. Now, some of it I may take with a grain of salt because, there's nothing I can do about that. But there's some things that maybe I could improve on or whatever. I'm open to hearing you out. Continuing on. An added benefit would be the ability to follow the American Heart saying. So American Heart has a saying that I like and I use a lot. You cannot improve what you do not measure. So if we're not able to see this objective data, because a video camera has no thoughts and feelings about it. It's just, it is what it is. I've been saying that for years, and this is the facts. It is what it is. So if we are measuring a way to improve ourselves, there is that as well. So after reading and rereading the article, I feel that this article is talking to EMS workers who are on the fence about the discussion of body cams. I personally was not a fan, but after reading this article, which I'm going to share with you, my class, I'm now more favorable. This is to added protection for my crews, ownership. They are my crews. When you're out there on your third rides, you are my people. I want you to be safe. And if somebody does lay a hand on you, I want it documented so we can make sure that they don't do it again. All right. What about the added benefit of increased accountability is highly favorable to me. I've never been a fan of burned out medics that did more harm than good. This is a way of holding them to at least a minimal standard of care. I've seen them medics out there cuss patients out. We don't need to talk to people like this. It is not our job to take things personally. I'm not out there to show them how big a man I am. Ooh, I don't have to prove nothing to you. I am an objective healthcare worker who has been punched, spit on, guns pulled on me, and it is about the patient, not about you and your manhood. You have to not take things personally. So what else? As a paramedic instructor, I love the idea of training video material. You can blur the patient's faces out to be HIPAA compliant, and it will be very compelling material. Actually watching an arrest take place, or, plugging a gunshot wound or whatever, seeing how a well-oiled machine works on scene, or seeing how badly they goofed up and created more chaos instead of making things work for them. So I like the idea. In the EMS classroom, a lot of our lectures are theoretical until psychomotor skills are applied in scenario-based learning modules. However, having video of calls would help everyone to see. The visual learners see how these medical complaints can be treated in the right and the wrong way. So what about HIPAA? I know some of you are like, what about HIPAA? Well, there's an answer for that too. The material is on a closed loop to where only it goes to a closed location to where the only way to access it is through a subpoena from a judge, or if there is a other type of legalistic question, or perhaps a billing thing or a logistics thing or something, it would have to be a approved personnel that would be directly involved with it. It wouldn't be just anybody can come look at it as far as the HIPAA component. Do you not think that cops with body cams have a lot of medical emergencies happen in front of them with a body cam? What about HIPAA? Again, nobody gets to watch those body cams unless what? The crap hits the fan, right? Now that it's a public case and blah, 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 the judge has subpoenaed it, it's a whole different type of ball game. And again, this is partly my opinion. This is not fact. This is an article I read. It influenced my opinion. There's always going to be a pro and a con. I am now, after reading this article and I thought about it, I think that the added benefit would be yes, I like it. Body cameras. I like it. I'm gonna leave it there. You form your own opinion. I will send this article out tonight after I have, make sure I've got the article still. Yeah, I got it. Yeah. Robeson County EMS testing body cams. It's a GEMS article, a Journal of Emergency Medical Services. So it is a peer-reviewed article from the Journal of Emergency Medicine. So read it, and maybe it can influence you, maybe it can't. Maybe you can find your own counter article to shoot back with. I'm all for it. I read another article that I did not list, and I don't have the access to, but the article was about a company in Texas who, again, they were scared of Big Brother coming after them until one of these young ladies accused a paramedic of something devious, something sexual. Oh yeah. Wasn't true though, because they had just implemented body cams, and she was found to be a liar, and it saved his marriage, his job, and many other things. So I bet he's all for it now too. So something to think about. All right, so now let's talk about the endocrine system. Now, this is a small lecture PowerPoint. I cut a lot of material out from the paramedic curriculum that I normally teach from, because again, it's very overwhelming material, and it's just not necessary at the EMT-B level. All right, so we're going to go ahead and share screen here. Hauser. Can you see me now? All right, we're going to talk about the endocrine system. We're talking about these glands that secrete hormones that cause different functions to happen in the body. They send complex messages and control system that integrates many body functions. So glands secrete hormones to regulate body functions. They act by binding to receptors in your bloodstream, and they cause an effect. Stimulate the production of intracellular proteins or other substances, or they carry out the next task in whatever body process the hormone's involved in. Everybody's with me so far. Glands secrete hormones. Hormones cause crap to happen in the body. That's supposed to happen, right? Can you have too much of a hormone? Yes. Can you have too little? Yes. How do you make a hormone? You don't pay her. Whatever, I'm funny. So let's talk about them. Pituitary gland, known as the master gland. This bad boy has a ton of functions. Most of these guys only have like a couple or one thing that it does. This guy has a bunch of them. I didn't say a bunch of them, I said a bunch of them. It's a South Georgia term where I'm originally from. Bunch of them. A bunch of them. So what does it do? It secretes hormones that regulate the function of many other glands in the body. So what does it do? It not only secretes hormones that affect your body systems, but it also affects other glands that secrete hormones. That's why he's the big boy. So if you see a question about who the master gland is, God, I spoon feed y'all. Pituitary gland will be the answer. Located at the base of the brain, in the cranial cavity, located below the hypothalamus. And here's just a taste of what this bad boy does. So pituitary, let me move y'all like out my way. I got to get you. God bless it. Come on back now. I done goofed this thing up. Open, you stupid thing. What are you seeing? Because I can only see the small screen.
Yeah, it's pretty small here on my end too. I can use the accent. Little square there.
You don't mix with technology.
Go back to what you were saying.
All right, we're going to share screen again. Boom, baby. All right, sorry, technical difficulties. But judge me. Happen to any one of us. We're back. Oh, yeah. All right, so where's the pituitary gland? Here at the little base of the brain, right there, right there, right there. Everybody with me? So what does it have to do with? It affects the thyroid. Thyroid affects what? Your metabolism, slow or fast, you have to have it. Adrenal cortex, mammary glands, growth hormone, gonadotropin, ovaries and testes, the kidneys, smooth muscles of the uterus, and also oxytocin, mammary glands. It's got a bunch of functions, right? That's a lot going on. I'm going to erase that. Thank you, annotation. All right, so let's talk about it. This is the thyroid gland. Very, very good. So, God bless it. So the thyroid gland, big thing to remember about that is it helps control calcium levels in the body, which has a lot to do with heart contractility and muscle contraction. but also it controls metabolism, the rate in which you burn calories, including your basal metabolic rate. So a lot of people think they got a slow metabolism and that's why they're all fat. It's not a slow metabolism. It's a fast fork. That's the problem. It's my problem. John can see what I have. I got me a giant Jimmy John sandwich with a big old sweet tea and a chocolate cookie because I earned it. I dieted yesterday, so I got to reward myself today with nourishment. So where is that bad boy located? It is located right here in the throat. So find your Adam's apple. All right, so there it is. Right there below it will be your thyroid. All right. On the side, the outside there, it says little dots right here on the outside. That's your parathyroid. So what I want you to remember about that is what? Controls your metabolic rate, calcium. Big things. It has a bunch of other things it does, but we're going to keep it simple for the EMT-B. Pancreas. Now, this is one of the more, we get more involved with the pancreas when it comes to EMS because the pancreas has a lot to do with our diabetics. Diabetics have sugar issues. The pancreas secretes glucagon and insulin, which I'm going to get to in a little bit more depth in a second. But if there is a gland that we have a lot to do with in EMS, it'll be the pancreas. Organ of both endocrine and digestive systems. Not only does it create insulin and glucagon, it secretes digestive enzymes that help you digest things. So lies between the greater curvature of the stomach and the duodenum in the retroperitoneum. So as we cover and learn more medical terminology, we will learn what some of these terms mean. Retro, think of the 70s, retro, throwback, right? It means behind. Peritoneum, your big abdominal cavity or small abdominal cavity if you don't eat like me. Right here, the guts. Don't look at it. Gaze upon the Buddha belly. Oh yeah. This is also known as the peritoneum. This is my belly, my abdominal cavity, but also known as the peritoneum. The retroperitoneum, so retro meaning throwback or behind, is back here. So this guy lies in the greater curvature between my stomach, duodenum, and in the retroperitoneum. So it's actually in the behind area, the space behind the peritoneum. It's actually behind me a little bit. Are you with me? Hopefully. And there that bad boy is. So here's the body of the pancreas. Right there. There's the tail. It sits right there kind of in the loop of all of it. Right behind the aorta. And also another thing that's in the retroperitoneum is your kidneys. And your kidneys have who on top of them? Adrenal glands. We're going to talk about them in a minute, but the retroperitoneum has got some glands in it. So the kidneys and the pancreas are located in the where? Retroperitoneum. The kidneys and the pancreas are located where? Retroperitoneum. Open your mouth. There's a spoon. There it is. All right. Now the pancreas produces the hormones insulin and glucagon. At this point in your life, I imagine most of us have had a relative with diabetes, right? Or know somebody or something like that. I hope, I mean, if not, then, you've been very lucky. They've been very lucky. Everybody you know has been lucky. So diabetes is a problem that ranges from either having, insulin sensitivity to not enough insulin. You can have too low of a sugar, too high of a sugar. Your brain requires sugar for you to stay conscious. It requires sugar for bodily functions and the creation of ATP, right? We talked about those cellular respiration, right? 3 things go into the cell, right? Water, oxygen, glucose. I need glucose to perform glycolysis. Glycolysis meaning what? Glyco, sugar, lysis, break apart, break down. So for me to create energy, I need the sugars. Need them. So pancreas produces hormones, insulin and glucagon. Now, insulin's job is to be a key, right? Insulin's job is to be a key to let sugar into the cells. Without insulin, sugar does not go into cells. Insulin is the key to sugar go in the cells and to lower blood sugar. Glucagon, gluca, sugar, raises blood sugar. These hormones are produced in the inslets of Langerhans by specific cells, alpha and beta cells. The alpha cells create glucagon. A true alpha, raises people up. So alpha cells bring blood sugar up. A beta cell, beta male, brings people down. So the insulin is produced by beta cells and it brings the sugar down. That was the easiest way I could put it for you to remember. Alpha cells bring sugar up by producing glucagon. Beta cells bring people sugar down. Make sense? Is that relatable, rememberable? Better be. You got a quiz over this week.
So the blood sugar is going down because the sugar is going into the other cells.
Without insulin to get it in there, it's going to sit and free float in the serum bloodstream. So, and when we take a test strip, when we stab their finger and check their blood sugar level, it is reading what's in their blood right there. All right. So glucagon stimulates the breakdown of glycogen to glucose and stimulates gluconeogenesis in the liver and kidneys. Now, let's break that word down. Gluco meaning sugar. Neo, new. Genesis, in the beginning. Where'd my man, brother, where'd he go? He ain't in here right now. The perfect time to have him. So gluconeogenesis means the creation of new sugar. All right, so that's the process that occurs in liver and kidneys in which glucose is produced. Everybody with me? All right, insulin causes foodstuffs to be taken up and metabolized by cells. What doesn't get in the cells without insulin? Sugar. All right, so sugar can't get in there. Adrenal glands, you're doing so good. And I promise you this will be a short lecture versus some of the ones you've had so far. So, and again, there ain't but like a little bit we can do about some of these glandular disorders we have. We can recognize them and take them to the appropriate spot. But when it comes to the pancreas and the insulin and diabetic issues, we have answers for that in our drug box. Well, paramedics do. You assist. So, adrenal glands are located on the top of each kidney. Adrenal glands are located on the top of each kidney. Adrenal glands are located on the top of each kidney. By repetition, you will learn this. Why do you think that's important for me to say 3 times? He figured me out. If I said it more than once, it's going to be on the quiz. God. Who told you to be so good? All right, very good. So they manufacture and secrete certain sex hormones. Ew. Other hormones that are vital in maintaining the body's water and fluid balance. Water and fluid balance also have a lot to do with not just only your blood volume, but also your blood pressure and stuff like that. So the adrenal glands are muy importante. So there we go. In times of stress, these guys produce adrenaline, that fight or flight. Adrenaline or epinephrine, that hormone that mediates that fight or flight response to the sympathetic nervous system. We have sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system. You got fight or flight being the sympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic nervous system is your fight or flight. That is, I'm either going to fight you or run away really quickly. That's when you get scared or you get really pissed off. So the parasympathetic is your feed or breathe. That is your vegetative functions like pee and poop and digestion, sleep, crap like that. Yeah. So there we go. All right. We got the medulla portion of the adrenal glands, inner portion of the adrenal glands, which produces epinephrine and norepinephrine. Now, these are naturally occurring catecholamines in the body. Their job is when they are released, everything's gonna go up. You've heard of that, the woman with the baby in the car and like she has to get the baby out and she can lift the car. That's adrenaline, baby. That's epinephrine. Adrenaline is epinephrine. Epinephrine is adrenaline. And you'd be amazed what people can do in an adrenaline rush. or you'd be amazed what people can do on a lot of cocaine, having a sympathomimetic syndrome effect to where it's mimicking the effects of the sympathetic nervous system, and they're stronger than hell. 130-pound dude snapping restraints like they're made of paper and throwing me and 5 other people around like we're nothing. Cocaine's a hell of a drug. Kids, don't do drugs. Spread the word. I think most of us did fail that little dare lion, though. I know at some point I did. All right. The thymus gland. Gland in the chest between the lungs. It makes white blood cells, T lymphocytes, which are part of the immune system, and helps to fight infection. The thymus gland is in the chest. The thymus gland is in the chest between the lungs behind the breastbone. Where's the thymus gland? In the, say it with your chest. In the chest. There you go. Reproductive glands and hormones. The gonads. Ooh. Reproductive glands consisting of the ovaries in women and the testes in men. Testosterone, major androgen manufactured by the testes. Testosterone, major androgen manufactured by the testes. Testosterone, major androgen manufactured by the testes. That is the major male hormone. For the females, they have human chorionic gonadotropin, or HCG, that's much easier to say, estrogen, and progesterone. It went pro. Other glands that are just honorable mentions for us right now. Pineal gland secretes melatonin, supposed to help you sleep. I actually take melatonin pills. They do nothing, but they taste good because they're gummies. Thymus gland secretes thymosins. Digestive glands. Heart actually secretes natriuretic peptides, and kidneys secrete erythropoietin. Now, I'm going to let Mr. Larry tell you about erythropoiesis, erythropoietin, and that process. But basically, the kidneys and the long bones in the medullary cavity actually produce red blood cells, and that red blood cells are what carry oxygen. So, very important stuff, right? All right, last but not least, the major endocrine glands and their locations. Let's start at the top, baby. All right. So, the pineal gland, located right here. Pituitary gland at the base down here. Thyroid in your neck meat, like we played with and seen. Thymus is located in the chest, like we said. We got the pancreas located right here in between the adrenals, right? All right, on top of the adrenal gland, on top of the kidneys, we have who? Adrenal glands. The adrenal glands are on top of the kidneys. The adrenal glands are on top of the kidneys. Ovaries, for some of us, are located right here in the top of the pubic symphysis in the lower abdominal area-ish region. Unless you have a, nope, I'm not gonna say that. You know, when it's really fat and it makes one big, anyway, fupa. All right. And then we have the testes located for some of us down here at the bottom. Major hormone for that is testosterone. Major hormone for the ovaries is what? HCG. I like it. All right, all right, all right. All right, I'm gonna stop sharing now because that was the endocrine lecture. Short, simple, to the point, big facts. I like it. So, any questions from anybody at home or in the classroom? Was it clear, concise, consistent? Okay. Anything to add? All right. Well, that'll conclude our second lecture for tonight. I'm sorry it's so short. I could just sit here and talk about the weather or this Jimmy John's I'm going to enjoy, but with my remaining time here in Roswell, I'm going to take the time to grade the people that have already, produced their discussion posts. I'm going to continue working on your quiz this week, which you've already got an inside track on if you were paying attention. And be looking out for Mr. Larry's lectures to appear Wednesday and Thursday. He's going to be doing live streaming Wednesday and Thursday. If anybody wants to tune in and actually converse with him during it, I promise you, he has a lot more knowledge in like 3 times the years doing this than I do. If you want to tune in and ask somebody direct questions, that is the dude to do it. That was paramedic number 11 in the state of Georgia ever. He helped build EMS in Georgia. That is the man. So I promise you, if you want to tune in, do live stream, he's going to do it Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. But he's also going to record it in case anybody can't make it, because I know some of y'all got crazy schedules. So it will be recorded. It will be live streamed. And if you want to come in person, he will be here in person. So the options are all there for you, but I can only lead you to the water. I cannot make you drink. So please do your part of this deal and work hard. And remember, this is not art appreciation class. This is EMS. People's lives will be in your hands. Take this seriously. Make the time to make it happen. Like I sent y'all an email today, it is not too late to bow out gracefully. There will be no skin off your back. There's no money been spent yet. You're not locked into this thing. If you just can't make it happen, I'll still love you. You can always come back at another time. We will have other EMT classes. You can always bow out and come back later if life is not ready for you right now. Anyway, I love you. Have a good one. You have my email. Text me, email me if you need me. And I guess I'll catch you later. Have a good one.